Hello, my wonderful, wonderful students. This is the Human Body System and Senses, Lesson 4, the Muscular System. All right, here's some vocabulary words that you will hear throughout the read aloud. Cardiac muscles are muscular tissue of the heart that contracts rhythmically and continuously. So it's the muscles that make your heart go thump, thump, thump. Contract is a verb. It's something that is done. Means to bring together, to shorten, or to tighten. So an example is an earthworm must contract its body to move itself from one place to another. So it moves its body in and then out and inches forward. Involuntary muscles are muscles that cannot be controlled by choice. Muscles are body tissue made of long cells that can contract or tighten and relax to produce motion. An example is exercise is very important to keep muscles healthy. The next word is nerves. They're bundles of fibers throughout the body that transmit sensations, information, and instructions to the brain and spinal cord. And then we also have voluntary muscles. They are muscles that can be controlled by someone's own choice. And then we have the word vulnerable, which is an adjective. It describes something able to be hurt or injured. That word is vulnerable. So what have we learned so far? When we talked about the skeletal system, we learned about different types of bones. So if you look at this first skeleton, you can see that the arms and legs are highlighted. What are those bones called? Right? They're your appendages, so they're your appendicular bones. Okay? And then on the next skeleton, you see that the skull and the rib cage and the spine are highlighted. What kind of bones are those? Right? They are the axle bones. The middle of your body are the axle bones. What are the different types of joints? Well, you have joints that are movable. You have joints that are immovable, which means they can't be moved. And then you have joints that are partially movable, which means they can be moved, but only slightly, less than the movable joints. Why are cartilage and ligaments important to the skeletal system? Why are they important? Well, ligaments are what connect your bones together, right? And cartilage is what's between your bones so that they don't rub together and get worn out. Right? And do you remember what the building blocks of life are? What is every living thing made of? That's right. Every living thing is made of cells. All right, and we have been filling out our KWL chart together. And so at the afternoon meet, if you will just tell me a few things you learned about muscles to add to our chart. So we're going to learn about how our muscular system works, how it's interconnected with other body systems, and the different types of muscles in the human body. Hi guys, it's me, Ricardo. Last time we were together, I told you that our next discussion would be about a system that works extremely well with your skeletal system. Did any of you predict the name of the system we're going to talk about today? If you predicted the muscular system, you're correct. You've learned how the bones in your skeletal system are connected from head to toe. Bones form the important framework of your body, but they could not move without the help of your muscles. What are muscles? The word muscle comes from the Latin word musculus. Okay, the word musculus means little mouse. It is thought that a long time ago somebody observed muscles moving under the skin and thought it looked like a little mouse moving underneath, and that is how muscles got their name. They are controlled by signals that come from your brain and spinal cord, which carry messages through nerves to every part of your body. Muscles receive these messages, telling them when to contract or tighten, how to contract, and for how long. When muscles contract, they squeeze together, shortening and causing movement. Muscles are at work in your body all the time, even while you are sleeping. You have more than 650 muscles in your body, making up between 1/3 and 1/2 of your body weight. There are 3 types of muscles in your body, but most of them are skeletal muscles. Your skeletal muscles work closely with your body with your bones to give them mobility or motion. Just as there are axial bones and appendicular bones, there are axial muscles and appendicular muscles. Which muscles do you think are axial? Right, the ones in your head, neck, and torso. And where are the appendicular muscles located? Yes, in your arms and legs. Most muscles work in pairs. Muscles only pull on bone, they cannot push. As your muscles pull on bones, they contract or get shorter. In order to relax or lengthen, muscles need a partner to pull the bone in the opposite direction. Paired muscles never pull at the same time. One pulls while the other relaxes. One relaxes and the other pulls. Look at this picture of the muscles in your upper arm. It shows what happens when you make a fist and bend your arm. All right, so go ahead and make a fist and bend your arm. The bicep muscle contracts and bends your elbow while your tricep muscle relaxes. When you straighten your arm out again, your tricep muscle contracts and your bicep muscle relaxes. So go ahead and straighten out your arm. So one muscle is contracting while the other relaxes so that you can move it back and forth. By working in pairs, taking turns pulling on your bones, skeletal muscles enable you to ride a bike, play the guitar, or climb a mountain. Skeletal muscles come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, fat and skinny, long and circular. Because you control your skeletal muscles, deciding when and how you want to move your bones, they are called voluntary muscles. The movement does not happen automatically. You make a conscious decision to move the muscles attached to your bones. So your brain thinks, I'm going to move my arm. Your arm doesn't move by itself. Your brain has to send the message to your arm. Narrow, rope-like tissue called tendons attach bones to muscles. You can see the tendons under your skin if you flex your arm back and forth. Try it. Bend your elbow as if you want to show off your muscles, and feel the tendon just under the skin on the inside of your elbow. What are other good places to view your tendons in action? Try looking at your neck in a mirror or someone near you's neck. Can you find the tendons as the person turns their head? Can you find tendons in your arms and legs? The muscles in your legs are the largest and strongest skeletal muscles in your body. One of these muscles is your calf muscle. See if you can feel your calf muscle at the back of your lower leg. Your calf muscle is responsible for much of your movement, helping to bend your knee when you walk or run. It is attached to your heel bone by the longest and most powerful tendon in your body, the Achilles tendon. If your Achilles tendon is cut or torn, the use of the leg for jumping and running is lost immediately until it heals. An ancient Greek legend has long been told about the Achilles tendon and a figurative phrase to indicate our weak spots, places where we feel most likely to be hurt, either physically or emotionally. The myth goes something like this. Long ago in ancient Greece, a baby was born. According to custom, his mother held him by the heel and dipped his body in the river Styx. The river Styx is not a real river on earth. It is a mystical river believed by the ancient Greeks to be located between earth and the underworld. It was thought that the waters of this powerful river could make a person invincible, unable to be defeated in battle. Achilles grew up to be a warrior, and indeed the river's power seemed to protect him from injury throughout many battles. However, there was one spot on his body that the waters had not touched. That was the spot where his mother had held him, Achilles' heel. He was finally killed when an arrow pierced his heel, his one vulnerable spot. From then on, people have referred to their own area of weakness as their Achilles heel. Poor Achilles. It's a shame he wasn't wearing some armored footwear. Oh well, it's only a myth. Let's move on and learn about the other types of muscles in your body. It's a cool story. In addition to skeletal muscles, there is smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. Are you ready for another riddle? I am a muscle. Like music, I have a rhythm and a beat. I am protected by the rib cage. What am I? Does anyone know what type of muscle is contained in your heart? Smooth or cardiac? Your thick, powerful heart is made of cardiac muscle, the strongest muscle in your body, found only in your heart. Unlike skeletal muscle, healthy cardiac muscle never tires. It is continually contracting and relaxing, rhythmically pumping blood around your body all day and all night. Cardiac muscle is an involuntary muscle, meaning that you do not control its movement. So the prefix in means not. Your brain controls how fast your heart beats without you even thinking about it. Why do you think this is important? Well, you can't think about your heart beating all the time. That would be tedious, and then you couldn't do it while you're sleeping. Smooth muscle is the third type of muscle in your body. It is also an involuntary muscle because you cannot consciously move smooth muscle. It contracts exactly like skeletal muscles do, only much more slowly. Lining the walls of internal organs and blood vessels, smooth muscle uses less energy than skeletal muscles. It squeezes and tightens, mixing and churning food in the stomach. It lines your lungs and blood vessels too. So the muscle system and the digestive system are interconnected. They work together. The next time we meet, we'll talk about the system that controls all of your other body systems. This system controls both the voluntary and involuntary muscles in your body and much more. Can you guess what system you will be learning about next time? Look at it, Ricardo's shirt. That's a good clue. I'll see you next time and we'll see if you've guessed correctly. Okay, so what are muscles made of? What are muscles made of? Well, they're bundles of long, thin cells, so muscular tissue. Why is the muscular system important to the human body? Well, it helps the body move and do other things that we can't see, like the stomach and intestines digesting food and the heart pumping blood. It is the framework of the human body together with the skeletal system. All right, so skeletal muscles come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, fat and skinny, long and circular, because you you control your skeletal muscles, deciding when and how you want to move your bones. They are called voluntary muscles. The movement does not happen automatically. You make a conscious decision to move the muscles attached to your bones. Unlike skeletal muscles, healthy cardiac muscles never tire. It is continually contracting and relaxing, rhythmically pumping blood around your body all day and all night. Cardiac muscle is an involuntary muscle, meaning that you do not control its movement. Your brain controls how fast your heart beats without you even thinking about it. Why do you think this is important? Okay, so use those two paragraphs, and I want you to compare and contrast voluntary and involuntary muscles. So please restate the question. And what does compare and contrast mean? It means give me something that's similar between voluntary and involuntary muscles, and give me something that's different. Try your best at this question, please. According to the Greek myth, why was Achilles' heel vulnerable? Why was his heel vulnerable? Well, it's because that when his mother dipped him in the river that was supposed to give him mystical protection, right? It was supposed to protect him. She held him by his heel, right? So that was the only part of him that wasn't dipped in the river. So that's why it's called your Achilles heel. And when people talk about their weaknesses, they talk about their Achilles heel. So if you are really bad at math, you could say, man, math is so hard. It's my Achilles heel. I can never get it right. Which is not true for any of you all, because you all are wonderful at math. Just an example. Our words for today are voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. In the read aloud you heard, because you control your skeletal muscles, deciding when and how you want to move your bones, they are called voluntary muscles. You also heard cardiac muscle is an involuntary muscle, meaning that you do not control its movement. Say the words voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. So voluntary muscles are those that can be controlled with someone's own choice. Involuntary muscles are those that are not controlled by choice. I use the voluntary muscles in my legs to jump high in the air, but my heart is an involuntary muscle because I don't do anything to make it contract. It does that on its own. Right? So can you think of some examples of voluntary muscles? Can you also think of some examples of involuntary muscles? So remember these things for when we fill out the learn part of our KWL chart at our afternoon wrap-up. Good job, guys. I hope you learned a lot about your muscular system today.